woke up, and then afterwards I kind of had to believe that the dream guys were probably pissed at the one guy who said human flesh for improvising off the written script, you know. You should have said chicken, then we could have gone on the boat ride, but no. Human flesh, very funny. You're gonna have a non-speaking part in the next dream, mister. So why don't you go put the bear suit on right now? These dreams, and I think they go back to when I was a kid. My dad, he made me eat these tomatoes one time. I'm not saying that's the exact cause of it. We had a huge argument. I told him they were gonna make me sick. He says, those tomatoes won't make you sick. I said, I'll throw up. He goes, just eat the tomatoes. I said, I'll throw up. Then he goes, just eat the tomatoes. And when he does that satanic ventriloquist thing, smart money's on, eat the tomatoes. So I got them all down. And then that last bite hit bottom. Everybody out? All over the table. My mom is, oh my. And, but really, that was a proud moment for me because I won that argument. My dad he's a wild guy. He's mellowed now since when I was a kid, my father. I think it was a lot of pressure for him to be the dad when I was little. You know how kids look up, you look up at your dad when you're a little kid like he's got some special dad knowledge. And then you find out all he really knows is how to have sex with your mom. That's a little disappointing. But he used to try really hard, though. He'd take us on these family vacations in the car. More like a family hostage situation. Right. Well, with my dad as the terrorist. We're going to take it easy this year. We're only going to see 30 states in 2 weeks. He'd pack us in that car. And then he put the cooler right in the trunk. Because we're too cheap to eat in restaurants, we got to stop and feed out of the back of the car. Just to... And I'm sure we scared some other families. And if you're here, I'm sorry. But then when we're ready to go, he would make us leave the house at 4 in the morning. Why? So we're 100 miles from home before we know what the hell is going on. That's my theory. It's like, well, you can't defect from the vacation if you don't know the way home. I think that's what he was working on. So there we'd be in the driveway, 4 in the morning. This is like a bizarre prison transfer. He'd jam us in the car. And then he gets us in there, and then he's got all these rules about the car. The windows had to be up, all that we could never put the windows down because of some streamlined gas mileage thing that he had worked out on previous vacations. So he's got bar graphs and pie charts to prove that. There's no arguing about the window thing. And then he put the air conditioner on recirc, so it's that same air going around and around in the car like we're taking that air to Wyoming. And then he would start smoking a cigar. So the car is smoking the cigar. We're all smoking the cigar, really. My dad just has first crack at it. So my sister and I would take a time out from our salt talks about where the exact center of the back seat was. Once we can barely see each other, you know, so we open the window a half an inch just to breathe on either side. We're and he could detect that change in cabin pressure. So he'd start, oh, it's not that bad. People driving by can barely see us inside the car. Except we're making little signs, help us. And it's like a Cheech and Chong movie. There's smoke pouring out, and he would drive all day, and then we would try and make him stop at all the tourist places that we went by, because they have all those signs on the freeway. As soon as we were old enough to read, that was trouble. You know, 50 miles to the 40 miles to the 30 miles. We've got to see the patriotic snake. we must have seen every two-headed animal in the United States. But by far, the lamest, or the biggest, the lamest on a large scale thing that we saw was this. In South Dakota, there was a guy carving a mountain to look like Crazy Horse, a famous Indian, and it's right near Mount Rushmore, which is evidently where this guy got the idea to carve a mountain. But obviously no one told him that the other guy had help. It's one guy carving. His sons were helping when we were there. I think his wife chased him out there, so go help your father with the mountain for crying out loud. So it's three guys on a mountain, and it doesn't even look like an Indian, and they want $6 to look at it, which I don't know how they can keep you from seeing a mountain. It's a mountain. There wasn't a curtain or anything. That'd be another $1. See the world's biggest curtain. So I can see the mountain. I'm telling my dad, don't pay. I can see the mountain. Don't pay. I can see the mountain. He's saying, don't anyone look at the mountain until I pay. I didn't raise a bunch of cheats. He would get so wound up, and part of it was probably my fault, because while we were driving, I'd sit behind him and do my foot under this seat. It's my experiments, and every time he'd be, I can feel that.